Hi, Lead Empowered. I am watering my garden tonight, which I was telling my husband that I think I overestimate the plant's ability to not need water every day. And just standing here and looking at all of this, like, I can't believe this is my life. And, in comparison, it's small, but I cannot believe this is my life. There was a time that I dreamed of fruit trees, and I didn't put them in because we thought we were going to be moving, and so we didn't make the investment. We didn't put the roots in because we thought, why would we? We're not going to be here to see the fruit. And even if I never get any fruit from these fruit trees, like, it makes me so happy, which might seem counterproductive because the whole point is to get the harvest. But I think there's so much joy in the waiting, like in just standing here tonight and looking at these sunflowers and the kale going to seed and the last flowers on them, and these gorgeous sunflowers that are like multi-shaded. I don't know, they're beautiful. And just enjoying being here. And yeah, the message that's in my heart tonight is to let somebody help you wherever you're at. Say yes to somebody's offer of help, because we live in a culture that is so independent and so proud of it that we don't let people into our life, and it can often cost us. Sometimes this is going to sound extreme, but your life. I have a neighbor who's been extremely stressed, and I just think, she's so strong and she's so brave, and she can take care of herself. And she's also almost 90, and she just had some weird heart, not failure, but inconsistency, and ended up going to the hospital last night. And I just think, would that happen? Like, would you have that stress if you let one of your family members take care of you, and if you lived with them and you didn't have to worry about paying rent or getting a job so that you could pay rent? What if we lived where we said yes to the people that offered to help us? And I remember someone telling me this joke early on in like parenthood about the guy who asks, he's stranded in the ocean, and he says, God will save me, God will save me. And so he's praying, and a motorboat comes by and says, hey, like, hop in. The guy's like, no, God's gonna save me. And then, a paddleboard comes by and says, like, I can row us both back. Hop on. The guy says, no, God's gonna save me. And then a helicopter comes and says, no, God's gonna save me. So he gets to heaven and asks God, why didn't you save me? And he said, I gave you 3 chances. You said no to all of them. And I just think that that's such an example of our life, and like being able to say yes to the people that are offering help in our life. And I learned that, like when the cashier offers, can I take your groceries? and you're like, yeah, like I can get them to my car by myself. To just say yes. To say yes to the help that's being offered, because you're also blessing the person that you say yes to. It's usually a gift to them, sometimes even more than it is to us. And I think to recognize that and to just allow people to help us. We've gone so far down this path of I can do it myself that it's to our detriment. It's hurting us. And it's taking away the joy and the gift to other people. And over the last few years, that's something that I've been working on, is just saying yes to the people that want to help. And I can tell you from my experience that it has enriched my life. And I always wanted to be strong enough. And now I realize that it takes more strength to say yes. Than to just do it yourself. So I want to encourage you to find somewhere in your life someone has offered help to you, that you would go back and say, you know, I wanted to take you up on your offer. And sometimes we miss those moments in the moment to say yes, but I think there's so many opportunities to come back to them and to say, I actually will take you up on that. And to do it in such a way that it makes other people feel valued too. And I think that is the gift, is that we're valuing other people. So don't be so strong. Be strong enough to say yes to other people. You build a relationship when you say yes to other people's help. Because when you say yes, it opens the door for them to ask you a favor in return. When you say yes to somebody else offering their help, you're saying yes to them being in your life. And you're saying, the door's open. You can be here for me, and I'll be here for you. When we say no, how many times will they keep asking? It's so hard to keep showing up and keep offering, to be there for someone who consistently says no. Especially in the world we live in. I think people give up. I think it's so important to say yes, because you don't know how many times they'll ask. And if you close that door, it might be harder to open. Burden to ask for help, but really, it's an invitation into your life. And we have to be willing to be the weaker, stronger person, to invite people to help us, and to maybe be perceived as a burden. But maybe it's just laying the first brick of a foundation and allowing somebody else to bring their need to the table. We have to learn to say yes to each other. That's how we build relationship.